Hold on. My bad. I ain't have no sound. So we're the Israelite. Let me do this again. So we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. Tonight's class is Scripture Breakdown class. I'm Officer 5000 Mataza Pa, be holding down tonight's class. So tonight's class is pretty much for, if you have any questions on scriptures, usually officers are coming to this class and you tighten up their breakdown for Saturdays and stuff like that, right? So, like I said, before we went live, you was talking about a restaurant named Lucy's, right? What's your name again?
Austin.
Austin. Did we have a young man in the building in the school? His name is Austin. He was talking about a restaurant named Lucy's, and Lucy's is where?
3600 North Market Street.
Oh, Lucy's is over Market. Where?
Right across the street from like Rite Aid.
Right
like,
across.
No,
38th?
Like 37th.
So it's past
like right down. It's past the Grab. Like if the Grab is in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yep. So it's down there, right? And so Lucy's. What happened in Lucy's?
All right. So this is what happened in Lucy's. So usually I go there every morning. Get a cup of coffee. I pay for my meal every day. I sit there every day with another man of another race, but they respect him more. So one day he left. He went to a vacation. So I go there yesterday. They had a sign on the table said, "Nobody can eat at our table."
Mm-hmm. So, what race is this other dude? If you don't mind
Caucasian.
Oh, so he's a white man. Okay, so the restaurant. Who runs the restaurant?
His name is Jimmy.
Is there somebody white or black? Yes. It's a white man, right? So we can we can kind of, just from you telling me that the restaurant is owned by the oppressor, and the guy that you sit with is a devil. He's an oppressor as well, but they have more respect for him, right, and not.
So when I sit there, you know what I'm saying? It's like a balance thing. Like I'm just feeding off his energy. They respecting me because I'm not getting out of character and really saying what I want to say. If you get what I mean. Okay, so why do you feel like you have to keep eating at that restaurant? Is there not any other restaurants that you can eat at, that you can choose to spend your money at? I see it's a soul food restaurant right around the corner from here. True. Is there somewhere else that you can spend your money where they will respect you? Yes, it and is. They will enjoy that. It will, treat you right. If you're going to be in the goddamn store and you spending your money, why wouldn't you want to be respected? Why wouldn't you want to have some type of dignity? Yes, sir. So if the Edomite is treating you wrong in that store, my advice to you, brother, is never go back in that store again. I mean, that's simple. Right. Give me the scripture. Look in your apocrypha real quick. Yes, sir. And give me, yeah. Those now. Anytime you come in here, Austin, if you got a hat, that hat has to come off. Yes, sir. All right. The only thing that you can have on your head is one of these head pieces with the hole cut out, or one like this, brother, like that, something like that, or the one like Tazaiwan, your captain right there, something like that. Or if you don't have that, then you can't wear anything. Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna do. Give me Ecclesiasticus in your apocrypha. Yeah. Ecclesiasticus. Which? It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, and give me verse 10. Chapter 12, verse 10. All right. Here we go. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. What did it say? Never trust thine enemy. What do you think that means? Never trust them. Right. Yep. And so the store that you went into was ran by your enemy. Yeah. Right. Anybody who's not an Israelite is your enemy. Right. Yeah. Because anybody who's not an Israelite is working with each other to not tell you that you're an Israelite. Right. They're working with each other to oppress you, right? Because I just wanted to talk more about Lucy's too. Okay. Even when I was there yesterday, the girl Lisa, I say her name, Lisa. She said, "Yeah, and all these niggas, white lady." Yeah. So I'm like, like it startled me because I don't know why she would say that out of nowhere. Well, I mean, look at what you just read. Yes,
Look what you just read. Never trust them.
Themselves
now, this is okay. Because remember, you said you're reading the Bible. Now, just hold on 1 second. Now we're gonna get understanding of all that reading you've been doing since you've been a kid. Yes. Now we're gonna put it all together, and so that you can understand it, right? It startled you that the lady called you a nigger, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't know the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know the oppressor, you know who he is, but sometimes we forget that he is really him, and how bad, like, okay, we get a little sidetracked because we are able to eat in those restaurants now. We get a little sidetracked because we do work with him. Like, most of the time we go to our jobs, we talk to Esau in our jobs, right? We all somehow, you may have some type of job where you have to talk to him. And for some people, you may let your guard down a little bit. And so when that happened, it's like, wait a minute, I come in here, I spend my money, everybody, any other day, they cool with me, right? It gotta be, right? You feel comfortable enough to spend your money in there and to sit in there every morning, right, yes, to drink that coffee. Yeah. So when that happened, it startled you because you forgot who the oppressor was. Right. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. Understand that. Never forget. Now you can never forget that. Now I can never forget. You understand? Absolutely right. All right. So this is what the scripture. So now that you know that, read this again. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. And I got another one for you right after this. Yes, sir. Ecclesiastes 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, mm-hmm, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right. So, and this is counsel. Mm. You know what counsel is? Counsel is advice, right? Yes, so this is advice. This is counsel coming from the Bible, and it's telling you never trust your enemy. Right? But why don't you trust him? Because for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. His wickedness is going to show on that iron pot, right? You ever seen an iron pot? And it doesn't matter like how good the pot is or whatever. Eventually, rust is going to show on that pot from the natural elements of the, air or whatever. Rust is going to show on that pot. That's just like the wickedness. This is the scripture is comparing the white man's wickedness to the rust on this pot. Just like that rust is going to show on that pot, eventually the wickedness is going to show in the oppressor, in your enemy. Yes. Right? It doesn't matter how much he tries to say he loves you and how much he accepts you or, accepts your money. Eventually, you're going to see the wickedness come out of him. Right? Because the scripture says, and this is no more truer than what one of these devils I got in my school teaching me right now. You see what I'm saying? And this devil is teaching me for my exit exam. And so this devil is the devil the Bible speaks of. Understand that, and I understand that. And when he'll be very passive aggressive with the students in the classroom, very passive aggressive with them, right? Yes. But then say, "Oh, I love you." He'll come and try to clean up everything and say, "I love you. I just want y'all to succeed," and stuff like that. And you know what kicks in with me? Words smooth as butter, but war is in his heart. Cracker, devil, oppressor, I already know that you don't love us. Right. You know what I mean? Right. You don't love us. You saying that because one of these sisters is in here checking you now. The sisters in here like, wait a minute. I know what I read in the book. And the book say UTI. And he's like, well, such and such. She said, so I'm not going to say nothing else because I'm not going to read out the book because I don't want to be wrong reading out the book. So the sister getting on him, right? I'm sitting in the back cracking the hell up. Like, that's what you get, devil. And then so, he'll be very passive aggressive. And what I mean by passive aggressive, he'll say, yeah, because, a healthy debate is good for the classroom and stuff like that. Because, see, I don't know if she's tired of if she doesn't like me, or if she's just tired of nursing, or if she just want to leave the school or something like that. So he's throwing all these little jabs in there, like all this little, that's how I get it, all these little innuendos. You don't have to say all that. You could just say she might have a problem with me. And the conversation, us having a conversation, the back and forth a little bit is helpful for the classroom so we can figure this thing out. But instead, he throws all them little devil, he does what a devil does, right? Brother, the scripture says, never trust thine enemy, right? If you can find somewhere to spend your black dollars. I'm not going to lie, brother. That's what I did. I trusted the enemy. You know what I mean? Got deceived, and then it's okay. You know what I mean? We all have. You know what I'm saying? We all have. Yeah. Who haven't trusted the enemy? Right. We all did. Look, let me tell you something. We all did. Mm-hmm. The enemy said we was coming out of slavery, right? Mm-hmm. And we knew he the devil. He just had us in slavery for X amount of hundreds of years. And he said, look, man, if you help me fight the British, and help me fight for my independence, right? Hence, that's why Independence Day, right? America's independence. Right. If y'all help me fight for my independence, then I'll free you, right? If you help me fight for my freedom, then I'll give you your freedom. And we helped them. We fought in every war they came up with. Every war, every little fight they ever had, we fought for them and fought with them and bled and died and everything else, right? Treated like pieces of garbage. They treated us horrible in all those wars and all that stuff that we did for them. And did we get our freedom? No. July 4th, 1776, when America gained its independence, Black people were slaves. And we believed them. We trusted them. And guess what? We continue to trust them. And you know why we continue to trust them? Because of a doctrine called Christianity. Christianity teaches us to be weak. It teaches us not to think critically. I mean, goddamn, we know what we see, but then we listen to what somebody tells us. I know I'm reading in here, don't eat pork, but I'm listening to this man say I can do it. I know I'm reading where it says I got to follow these laws forever, or I got to do the Passover forever. But then this guy is telling me that I don't have to do it forever. And it's only Satan trying to get me to do this stuff. And that's where we're not thinking critically, because we should go off of, no, I know what I see. My eyeballs is not deceiving me. When I read that from my own eyes, I know what I see. And if I got a question on how I'm perceiving it, now, if I got a question on how I'm perceiving it, because we might perceive it different. Remember, we grow up in different households. We grow up in different neighborhoods. You know what I mean? For the most part, our experience is the same. It don't matter how good or how bad. You still live in the Black experience, but we still might interpret things different. So in that case, that's when we get together and we say, hey, teacher, can we go over this? Or brother, hey, tell me, you know what I mean? And then we start to get it out, hash it out, and then we understand some stuff. All right, give me Ecclesiasticus 6 and 13.
Ecclesiasticus 6:13.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Ecclesiastes 6:13.
Mm-hmm.
Separate thyself from thine enemies.
Do what?
Separate thyself from thine enemies.
What does that mean?
Don't be around them.
It took for that lady to call you a nigger not to want to go around that no more, right? Yeah. But nevertheless, that's what had to happen.
Yeah, it did.
You understand? It's nothing wrong with that. Yes, nevertheless, it had to happen. So now you can see, you know, as you're coming into the truth, as you're starting to change your life and things like that, and you're starting to learn more about the Bible, starting to put together everything that you was reading over the years. Then now you can start to understand what it's really saying. And it says in here to not trust these people, and not only not to trust them, but to separate from them. Now, why would the Bible tell us to not trust them and to separate from them? Why would it tell us to, the two scriptures that I read, separate from thy enemy, never trust thine enemy? Why is the Bible telling us to do that? I thought we're supposed to love everybody and forgive everybody. What's going on, Senior Nacho, man? Why would the Bible be telling us never trust thine enemy? Go ahead, take a crack at it. Why never trust thine enemy and to separate from them?
Because they can infiltrate if we do. Right,
and what happens if they infiltrate?
Destroy us.
They destroy you. Get his brother a hand, right? That's what happens. You have to separate from them so that you can live, right? If you don't separate from the enemy, then you will die. You will continue to be on the bottom and die. They're going to starve you out. They're going to suck you dry. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a horrible lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
Hell. That's what hell is. Yes, it is. The life that we live right now.
Right.
You don't have to die to meet the devil, and you don't have to die to go to hell. That song is awesome too. That's one of my favorite songs too. I ain't got to die to meet the devil. What'd he say? Something didn't landed in the ghetto. What'd he say? Angels there. Ah, man, come on, stop playing, man.
Oh,
Angel, man, that's Captain Contazon, man. Yeah, we got plenty of Israel. You want to listen to some Israelite music?
Yes.
This is the kind of music that you would want to listen to. Because I've listened
too.
to. Hold on one second. Hold your peace. I've listened to music, Israelite music, and it was Christian. It was Christian music. You know that singing stuff. It's nigh unto Christian music, man. And I can't listen to it because it makes me feel like I don't want to be a weak Israelite. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
I have to be Peter, not Peter when he was weak in that moment, but you know what I'm saying. Peter to pull the sword out and slice your damn ear off, Peter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Staunch. Like that's how we have to be. Yes. We can't because that kind of Israelite, Israelite spirit still accepts people. It still accepts everybody. It's still weak. The kind of spirit that you getting taught to have in here is the kind of spirit that the disciples of Christ had. You understand? The scriptures right here said, Ecclesiasticus 6:13, separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. Who are your friends? What's going on, Hebrew? Lord Christ. Who are your friends?
My brothers.
That's right. Right. Take heed of your friends. Your friends are in here telling you, look, brother, stay out that goddamn restaurant.
Yeah, yes,
don't go back in there.
I'm not.
You go back in there, you might be hung the next time.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
You know, watch what you're doing out here.
Yes, sir.
As you come into the school, you start to change the way you maneuver out there in the world.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? You might be used to hanging with these groups of brothers right here, these groups of dudes, or you might be used to hanging in this area. You kind of start to change that up.
I start to not even like. I'm sorry. I don't.
You got it. No, well,
Yes,
before
sir, yes,
you got
I'm
it.
Sorry. I start to not even like to go to the YMCA anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're racist in there.
Mm-hmm.
I do workouts. I do pull-ups and lift heavy weight.
Yeah.
And they look at me grunting, walking by me,
oh yeah.
up,
Oh man.
Nasty face.
I mean, you about what? 6'5". When they see you, that's what when they look at you, man, they see a grizzly bear.
Yep.
You know, you ain't no grizzly bear. I'm not calling. I'm not calling you a grizzly bear.
Like big guy, yeah.
But when they see you, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I mean by when they see you, they see a grizzly bear. When they see him, they see a grizzly bear. Right. There's a big difference in the size of weight and everything. Yes, but when they see you, they're afraid of you. Yes. When they see this brother looking like that with a beard and all that kind of stuff that black people normally don't have, they see a grizzly bear. Somebody that's something that can attack them and something that they're afraid of. And
I believe they're like that because we were made in his image. That's why.
They're like that because they see that you're not. I'm gonna tell you why it's like that, because you're not the same as everybody else. Right. When you start to change your life, you take on a whole new spirit that's different than the average black man. White people are not afraid of. Right. They're not afraid of the average black man. Right. But it's something about you. We don't walk around here trying to intimidate people or act crazy. But there's something about me when I walk into a room or I'm in the hospital or wherever I'm at that I command a certain respect when I come in there now. It's not how I was coming in there before, how I would go into a job or anything like that before. The spirit is totally different. You understand? Right. And in order for you to continue to build that spirit, you have to do what? Be in here to build that spirit. Yes, you see what I'm saying? Or else you're going to go right back out there. And niggas, you know what niggas is doing out there? Sucking rods. That's what niggas is doing out there. Homosexuality. We just read it the other night. We just went into that's what we was just going into the other night. Homosexuality and emasculation. And the black man in America is being emasculated. You understand? Yes, and if you don't pay attention and understand what's going on, then you will be the victim of emasculation. Right. For real. Right. Meek Mills probably didn't even know he was being emasculated. He didn't know what the hell was going on. Right. He trying to keep his money going, man. He trying to seem non-threatening. Whole time they're emasculating him on the TV screen. On CNN in front of everybody. Y'all seen Meek Mills the other day, right? No, it was you know how they do the when they march the people into the concentration camps, they called it the death march. So every year, what the so-calleds do, right, is the so-calleds, they have what is called the March of the Living or the March of Life. So they go to Auschwitz and all that kind of stuff. Then they had the CNN people on there like, oh, my father, start speaking in that low tone. Oh, went in there and everybody died. And this. Not to mention, we didn't already seen how many people said that all of them people, a lot of people was lying about being in there, right? But they come and they give us this side story about their family members. Okay, it was bad, whatever. But they got the only Negro I seen walking with this whole group was Meek Mill. Why the hell? Why was he there in the first place, right? So this is how they played Meek Mills. They said something about what he learned and all that kind of stuff, and he said he learned about their tragedy and he meant, and forget your tragedy, forget what happened to you. He worried about, he's soft spoken and all heartbroken over their tragedy.
He had the braids, right?
No, he didn't have the braids. It was just recently, like 5 days ago.
Yeah, I think I just seen something.
He had braids?
He had a blue hoodie, blue jacket with braids on.
I don't know, maybe. Is that old? They was just playing it on the news when I was
He got braids.
they was just playing that when I was in the break room the other day. And so they asked him, not only that, right? Not only that part, that was the first part. I'm like, God damn. And then two, they was like, so, recently Kanye West said some anti-Semitic stuff about Jewish people. How does that make you feel? They separated them. Well, we're two different artists. And the things that he said don't necessarily mean like I feel like that. And I got a chance to, and the things that he said, I didn't really know, what he was going into or to formulate my opinion. But now that I've seen everything, I don't think the same way. Like they separated him. They castrated him right there. To me, I mean, other people may not see it that way. I kind of do, because I would have just maybe not commented. It's nothing wrong with not answering the question. it's nothing wrong with saying, I'd just rather not speak on that. He's a different artist. No comment. Is there something wrong with saying no comment? You can offend somebody by saying no comment? Hold on, let me get the officer first. I got you. It's just like you just. Damn. So he was there at that point. At that point, Meek Mill is in between a rock and a hard place, huh? Woo! He should have just. I wouldn't have went. You know what I mean? No, I'm Tawab. Is that what you wanted, Kohal? No, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
Pretty much, I want to know if this would be a good answer. And somebody says something like that or tries to put you against somebody, I might say, well, you know what? I don't want to speak on what he said because he's not here to defend his position.
Or I would have to find a little bit more on, but before I could even answer that, I would have to find a little bit more on the situation. I don't know what's going on. Something like that. Right. Anything.
Because they say stuff like that.
Yeah, don't throw your brother under the bus, man. We got to figure out better ways to answer stuff when we under pressure. You see what I'm saying? And he was under the pressure from the devil. He was under pressure from these Edomites. And the one thing that you could tell a lot of us, the reason why we don't look at our history the same way we view their history is because we see more value in them. So we see more value in their history, I guess.
And does it come from like just how they brainwash you with false images? And
of course. Years and years of brainwashing. We got a book in here. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it. It's called the Willie Lynch. Is it the Willie Lynch syndrome or just the Willie Lynch letters or papers or something like that? No, I'm too wild. I got one of them. And when you read the Willie Lynch, it talks about how you can, it's this guy in slavery time, and he came to teach the slave masters. And the document that he presented was this Willie Lynch letter. And he said that if you implement the things that I teach you today or that I tell you today, then it'll essentially slavery will run itself for the next 400 years. And when you read, and they try to tell you, anytime you Google the Willie Lynch papers and all that, they try to tell you it's fake and all that. They try to tell you that's fake. They try to tell you the apocrypha's fake. They try to tell you all that stuff is fake. But when I look at the Willie Lynch letter, everything in there is applicable to what I see today. Everything. How we view each other. you know, like the light skin, how we be like, man, you high yellow, you know what I mean? Or it's like you dark, you piece of charcoal, or you know how we talk to each other, or fat or skinny. Yeah, chopsticks. You call somebody skinny chopsticks or somebody fat, you just always rank on somebody fat. We call it ranking. What y'all call it in? Huh? Grinding somebody up, grinding him up. Y'all know that's all we do in the black community. Grind each other up. You know what I'm saying? What you say? Yeah. The what? The dozens? Oh, playing the dozens?
I'm not used to call it wolf tickets.
Selling wolf tickets? Selling wolf tickets. And that's all we do, man. You know what I mean? We just talk about each other. No other race does that. No other race does that. You don't see no other race go with each other with that much hatred. Except us, right? So give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. This is for you, brother. These scriptures are still for you, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 68. This is going to be in the regular Bible, 28, 68. So we just read, never trust thine enemy and separate from thine enemy. Yeah. So I'm going to show you how you know. This is the curses, but I'm going to show you how you know who your enemy is today. Because you won't know who to separate from, or you won't know who not to trust. I'm going to show you who not to trust and who to separate from. In 68. Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy 28:68.
Oh, this thing is going haywire.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
All right, hold on, slow down. Take that from the top. Take it from the top, real quick, right? Take it from the top, and then hold on. Let me get there with you. So okay. We're gonna slow this thing down so we can really get the essence of the scripture, man. $28 and $68. You got it.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Okay, first, stop. What does that mean?
It's not, now if I think of analogy speaking, I don't think it means like a boat or something.
What does it mean?
Talking about a boat? You're talking about like road ships again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so no, it can mean, yeah, it means that. So hold on, let me not get misconstrued.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, let me read it again. Hold on. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Mm-hmm.
Are they talking about Egypt, like going back to Africa, Egypt, or like
Yeah,
like how
yeah.
this is like back
But hold on 1 second. I think the brother wanted.
With the Bible works, if I could.
No, yeah.
Break it down word by word. I mean, so if I could.
You got it.
Moses speaking to the Israelites.
Help him out, because I wasn't gonna help him out. Yeah, I'm gonna let you figure it out the same way I used to have to figure it out. But the brother gonna show you how to answer.
If I could, so the Lord is the Most High. He's speaking to the Israelites. And he said, the Lord won't bring thee into Egypt again.
Mm-hmm.
After they just left Egypt and was there for 400 years.
Right. So, if you see how he just said that, right? He said the Lord is going to bring you into Egypt again. He honed in on the word again. So the Bible might have a certain word or something in there that can teach you something or show you something, or that's very important. So it's saying that we're going to bring you into Egypt again. So what does that saying? That means you was in Egypt before. So that goes back to what you just said, right? Take you back to Africa. So this is what the Lord is saying. And the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again, right? But this time with ships. Was we in Egypt the first time with ships? No. Because when we came out of Egypt, we walked out of Egypt, right? Any other time you hear about Egypt, you hear us, we just walk down there. You know what I'm saying? We just walk over there.
I got a precept.
What's that for the bondage? You got it.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lord, thy God.
Write this. You should have your paper and stuff out so you can write down these scriptures, brother. So we don't have to do this in 3 months.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2.
Mm-hmm. No, whenever you two.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that's how you read the Bible. In order for you to understand Egypt, he went to a scripture that was Exodus 20 and 2 to show you that Egypt is the house of bondage. Right. So when you go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, the Lord said he's going to take you back into the house of bondage by ships. Okay. So now you understand. We're going back into Egypt again with ships. So you know it can't be like if you were thinking, man, you'd be like, wait a minute. Anytime when we went to Egypt, it wasn't with ships. When we came out, it wasn't with ships. Anytime we went back and forth, it wasn't with ships. So what bondage is this talking about? What slavery is this talking about? What Egypt is this talking about? What time or place in history did you ever see people go into slavery on ships? Never?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
Is there a period in time where people ever went into slavery on ships?
Into slavery?
Mm-hmm. Into slavery. Was there ever a time that people got put on some ships and taken to slavery?
Yes.
When?
Oh, Roots and all that, right?
Roots. Who's that? Who's Kuta Kid? Who are those people?
Those are Hebrews.
Those are the Hebrews. Who are those people today?
Israelites.
Who are the Israelites today?
Us.
Give it a brother a hand. Yeah. Right. So when you read this book and you read that scripture, now you can start to apply that to our slavery. Now you can start to understand that this is the words of this book is jumping off the pages and coming to life. You see what I'm saying? Now I can understand that. Wait a minute, that's my slavery. Going in the Bible prior to that, it said that if you break the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, all this stuff is going to happen to you, and these curses going to follow you. They're going to overtake you, and they're going to pursue you, and they're going to destroy you wherever you at forever, generation after generation after generation. So it don't matter if I sin, my kids, whoever, nigga, we going to be able to tell who these people are. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to take them back into slavery again. So then that means by default, you're going to be able to tell who the Israelites are because you're going to start to see these characteristics on these people. And you haven't seen nowhere in history a group of people being taken into slavery this particular way, other than your slavery, our collective slave experience. So now we can apply that to the Bible and say, where are these Israelites, Salaki?
If I could, what you're saying is so heavy because mad people that took them into slavery.
Yeah.
We always talk about slavery.
Mhm.
Like, well, white people in slavery.
Slavs and this and
slavery, all
the Irish.
Israelites went to mass slavery, but nobody went to slavery like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That makes it. That's what makes it stand out.
Uh-huh.
That's different. Because you went to slavery with shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very specific. Very specific. You got it.
And you know what y'all saying is heavy because that's such an easy identifier of
Right.
who the Israelites are.
Right.
That I'm starting to see a push that's trying to say that slavery never happened on ships.
Mhm.
Everybody was already here. And I know that's the enemy doing that because it's like, so you want to try to hide the fact that we came in on ships.
Yeah.
You did go into slavery.
Yeah.
But you want to hide that, so we can't. That seems like a direct connection to this verse, and I know the enemy is behind that.
Yeah.
I keep seeing TikTok videos about.
But guess who's pushing it though? Black people.
Yeah, they are.
But those are those what they call them? What they call them?
Reals.
Huh?
Reals.
No, that's not what they call them. They call them Aboriginals.
Oh, I thought you were talking
That whole Aboriginal movement is us already was here.
Right.
We already here. We wasn't brought over on ships. That's some concocted story that they made up. Nigga, what is you talking about? What is you talking about? We got the records. White people was so meticulous with their records. They wrote bill of sales. They wrote bill of sales. They wrote all of this stuff down. The stuff was on the stock exchange. You know, the stock market. Come on now. What is we talking about? What is we talking about? You got it. Let me get
Every year they kept census.
right. A census based on those bills or based on what?
Based on population.
Okay. Oh, so, well, I mean, damn. So census based on population, but I guess we would still know that these certain amount of people came off the boat this year. This amount of came off of this ship or this cargo or something like that, right?
When you deliver, you got to manifest.
Right.
So when you get there, they had your name.
Right.
What's your new name?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they kept names, and then when you get to wherever you went, they kept a census of who you were.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just black people that don't want to acknowledge the experience that we go through. You know, yes, we was overtaken. We was overcome. Yes, I'm 6'5", 200 and something pounds. This brother, 200 and something pounds. I know you 200 and something pounds. Tazaiwan, 6'7", LeBron, 6'8", 6'9". We got some tall brothers. You, 6 what? 5, 6, 6'3", 200 pounds. They was able to overtake us. Yes, they were. They was able, and that's something that we have to come to grips with. That we was overtaken. But why? Now we got to start understanding why this happened. You know, because we didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And so in order for us to fix what's going on, what do? Follow the law, statutes, and commandments. It's very simple. But let's finish this scripture real quick. Deuteronomy 28:68, and it says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." All right, so now we know that this is our slavery in America, right? Our bondage, because this is the slavery that we came in was on ships. All right, you can keep going.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 69.
68. We're going to take it piece by piece. So after the commas, just stop at the commas.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Now it said that it says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee," by this exact way that I just said to you. "Thou shalt see it no more again," right? You're not going to see Salakia. You're going to, "Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies." It says, in this place, in this bondage, you're going to be sold to your enemies. Who was we sold to? Austin, this for you. We were sold as bondmen, slave men. That means slave men and slave women. We were sold as slave men and slave women, but it said we was going to be sold to our enemies. Who was we sold to? White people. Edomites. You see what I'm saying? Those same people that's in that damn restaurant taking your money every morning, but then they call you a nigger when they having a bad day. See what I'm saying? Because she having a bad day at her freaking house. Whatever happened at her house this morning, she coming in hot. You know what I mean? She landing the plane hot coming into work. and then now you catching the brunt of her bad day. You see what I'm saying? Bible said you be sold to your enemies. So like,
We actually a bad night.
or a bad night. You know what I mean? Edomites, man, who knows what kind of life they be living, especially in them little restaurants. They be junkies. They be junkies sitting up all damn night in them Waffle Houses and stuff. They be cooking like they be in the Dollar Trees, Subway. Telling you, man, sleep. Damn near cooking their hands. You know what I mean? Because they be junkies, man. Yeah. All right, so hopefully we got that. Lucy's, stay out of Lucy's, man. If you can find somewhere else that got some delicious breakfast, find somewhere else. Y'all got some I know you know some places that you can eat some breakfast at. The brother likes to sit down and eat, man, and enjoy the breakfast. He want to sit down.
On the right-hand side, right directly across the street.
Checkers. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're expensive.
There we go.
Yes.
Sometimes we got to spend those. You know what I mean? Sometimes we got to spend those prices because the black man can't afford to get the cheap ingredients from the other man.
I missed what happened.
So he was in this restaurant called Lucy's. Lucy's is over on the north hand side of town, up on like 37th or 38th and Market. And so he was in there. He eats in there every morning. The Edomite owns it. And he sits there every morning with an Edomite when he eats his breakfast. And so they talk and stuff like that. But apparently this particular day, that Edomite wasn't there. And they had a sign that said nobody can eat at that table that you usually eat at every morning. And then did you still sit down and eat?
Yes, they took the sign off.
Oh, you took the sign off?
No, they took the sign
off. Oh, they took the sign off because you said, wait a minute, I eat here every morning. Well, how you gonna do me like this? I spend my money in here every morning. I want to sit down, and they let you sit down. But the lady had a problem with that. Lady was like, "What, nigger?" I think I got it right. So I just summed it all up, man.
That was the day before, but this what happened this morning.
Okay.
When he called me a mother effer.
And it goes and the story goes deeper.
Yes, this happened 7 o'clock this morning.
That's the story goes deeper. Come on, man.
I know.
No. I'm just saying. Come on. I'm looking at this, bro. He can't see me. I can't see him. We both got dark shades. I was looking at him though. But I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? They in there calling you an MFer. Come on. I mean, that shouldn't even be the conversation of somebody who's even patronizing the business. That shouldn't even be the conversation. Look, when you go into the black restaurants, he didn't even let those black ladies, y'all know which one I'm talking about. He didn't even let those black ladies twerk in there. They want some music came on, they ready to turn around and ooh-wee, shake it for the whole store. And in the black store, it's got a little bit more discipline, a little bit more respect. Like, nah, man. It's just other people trying to eat and enjoy their meal. At least they got a sense of, the community, a sense of, let these people enjoy their meal. They don't want to see that, your cheeks hanging out and all that kind of stuff on the table, right? This place of business, no, they don't care about you. They don't care about you spending your money. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't go in there furthermore because you might be getting a spit burger. You might be getting one of them good old 1969 civil rights burgers. You know what I mean? The sit-ins. You know what I'm talking about? Them sit-in burgers. Man, look. Don't look, man. Yeah, I understand that. I'm just, Rob, I'm putting it in your mind. So now you think about it. Whenever you go in there, like, am I getting one of them 1969 burgers? You know what I'm saying? Am I getting a civil rights omelet? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You gotta, I'm putting it in your mind so that you know that. And sometimes can we go to all black owned all the time? No. There might not be a black person that offers the service that you need at that time, but you still going to be respected, or you still need to be respected for wherever you choose to freaking spend your money. You see what I'm saying? And it's not only just Edomites that I see that, in restaurants and stuff like that happening to. It happens with Chinese people. It's happening in there with the Arabs. It happened with them Africans. It happened with everybody, how they disrespect our people, man. You see what I'm saying? It ain't just them. And so what do we need to do? We need to start building our own communities up. We shouldn't be so accepting of everybody else.
We should get our own currency, our own bartering system, everything.
First, it starts with we need to own our own spirit.
Yes.
Own our own spirit.
Yes, right.
You see what I'm saying? Own our own spirit. Own our own culture. Own our own religion. You know, everybody don't know. It's hard to say that Israelites, they swear this is a religion. I say it's not a religion. They say, they'll say my name in the world. That religion that you follow. Nigga did not just say this. Come on, man. So religion, we just need to own our own in that aspect first. You see what I'm saying? Money and all that is really nothing.
This past Sabbath service, we talked about gods
Mm-hmm.
and how we sacrifice to our God.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, money would be our God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if we sacrifice our money to brothers that own businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and they sacrifice their money to Edomites or to other gods, and we kind of indirectly sacrifice to their God. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way to buy black and be sure there's going to
Yeah,
our people.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand from that aspect. Yeah.
Unless we buy from somebody that we know wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we do have people popping up, with businesses that are in the truth. You know what I mean? I'm not really sure of restaurants, but we do have sisters who got a school. Like that's big, where your kids can go to school, homeschool from like kindergarten to 12th grade or something. So, we got a restaurant in Indianapolis, right? Brothers are starting to build these businesses. Oh yeah. It's an online school, man. The sister got a school, and I thought about putting my son in there. You know what I mean? I just got to have the time to be home with him, or else they're gonna be just like, the year that when COVID first hit. Oh man. Them kids was sleep. Them kids was laying down on the Zoom, man. I'm getting letters like, the kids need to turn on the camera. My son got kept back. I'm like, how you get kept back on the Zoom? On the Zoom? I would have loved to be home every day. Man, they got how you get kept back on the Zoom? You tripping? Hebrew. All right, I see you. What's going on, Hebrew? Yeah, you tripping, man. On the Zoom. And every morning I wake up and I say, hey, man, it's time to get up. Y'all get up. Time for school. All right, I'm getting up. As soon as I shut that door, boom, and lock it. They were like, lay right back down, man. And they caught up to him. They caught up to him. That's the only thing about that. They got so what I'm pretty sure your son is a little disciplined enough to do his homework.
My son?
Yeah, what you think?
No, he was fast forwarding through the videos.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, he plays a game with me and my wife where he'll tell me he got his homework done. But it's like a technicality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I was talking about my spelling. The writing is not due till Friday.
Look, man, get all that done, man.
Yeah.
Get it all done right now.
So I gotta stay on.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Hey, Isaiah Ward said, you got to stop getting them all white pies. Whites only pie. So whites only pie. Yeah, man. You got it.
You just reminded me of black businesses after coming in, to ISUPK,
Mm-hmm.
being in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I started giving brothers and sisters more of a chance and being more forgiving because
Right.
you use
I feel you.
business sometimes and they might mess up.
Yeah.
How many times is Burger King, McDonald's?
Yeah, I feel you.
Mess your order up.
I feel you. That's a great man. Get this brother a hand too, because that was actually an excellent point. When we do go into like black restaurants and stuff like that, we got to give them a chance, because the first thing, if a black restaurant does mess up, we quick to be like, nigga, I ain't going in there no more, or man, they just be effing up and stuff like that. But how many times will Burger King mess up or McDonald's mess up or something like that, and you still keep going in there to eat them? I don't even know if those is chicken nuggets. I seen the video. I said, oh, I think that was liquid. It was all liquid, and they formed it into chicken nugget. Yeah, they turned the liquid into a solid. Yeah, man. Hey, Tazan, I'm with you on that one, man. I'm with you on that one. Hey, I'm with you on that one, man. I'm with you. And plus, we getting older, man. I don't know about y'all, but I hit the 40 mark. You understand? So I have to watch out to things that I eat and stuff like that. You know, it gets real up here. This is the colonoscopy, you know, around the colonoscopy. You know what I'm saying? Hey. This is when you got to start paying attention to that kind of stuff. Diabetes, your lifestyle, exercising. You know what I mean? What, for the colonoscopy? Oh, man, I'm ready for it, though. I'm going to just go ahead and go get it done. I'm going to just, no, I think it's 50. I think it's 50.
You don't gotta wait.
What, colonoscopy?
You can get it now.
Colonoscopy?
I know somebody who got one that was in their 30s.
Are you talking about colonoscopy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not bad to get them. And you know why it's good to get them, right? You know what a colonoscopy is? They use a camera, right? And the camera goes up your colon. And the camera goes up your colon, and what it's looking for is polyps and stuff like that. Now, why is that important? What's one of the major cancers that Black people get? Prostate cancer and colon cancer. Colon cancer. So it's good to watch what you're eating. Use the bathroom and I know I'm sidebarring, but it's all good for the health of Israel, right? Use the bathroom every day. Fiber and stuff like that, right? It helps you to use the bathroom. If you're one of them people that use the bathroom every 2-3 days and all that, don't do that. Do not do that. Use the bathroom, right? Use the bathroom. That's what you're supposed to do every day. If you have a hard time using the bathroom, consult with somebody so that, you know, you can get something in your diet to be able to help you to, you know, become regular. But as a Black person, pay attention to that kind of stuff. Diabetes, sugar and salt is the two main killers of Black people. You know how many niggas, how many Black people I see with one leg in them hospitals, man, toes missing, because they cutting them off. They got to cut them off. Neuropathy. You ain't got no blood circulation down there. Cutting them off. Fingers. I seen one dude finger. It was so rotten. I could see the bone. Me, I'm looking like that. That is the bone. You know what I mean? All the way to the point where the dude was calcifying. Like, you know, no blood circulation. They came to me, they said, man, after they took his leg, right? I took him down there to go get his leg taken off. Came and got him after they took his leg off. You know what I mean? After they took it, and then the nurse was like, man, Chris, it's a lot, y'all. Matazapa, you know, they say my world name. But yo, such and such, they were like, yo, they was talking about taking his penis because it got calcified. So you want to be careful with like diabetes and that kind of stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know how to, okay, meaning like the fingers, I'll tell you what the finger look like and you can apply it to the other area. One second, real quick. You ever seen how you would cook a hot dog? When we was young, right? We used to cook hot dogs in the microwave. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You know how the edge gets, I used to like mine with the little edge get a little burnt, but it kind of get like hard and rubbery a little bit. That's how his skin, that's how everything looks when you don't have blood in it. And then apparently, yeah, so. Calcified. Like get hard. Yeah, something calcified.
Oh, so no, like, it's like basically like.
And I'm using the term calcified, but that's probably not. I'm just using the term calcified so you could, because I thought y'all knew that when something calcifies, it gets hard.
Is it like getting like freezer, like frostbite, where the limb is like dead?
Necrotic, yeah. Necrotic, yeah. Dead, yeah. The limb is dead. The limb is dead. There's no circulation going in and out. So, you know, anytime you don't have blood circulation, everything needs, every organ needs some type of blood. If you do not have blood to the brain will start to die. If you do not have blood to the heart, it starts to die. That's what a heart attack is. It's some type of blockage in there and the blood isn't getting to that part of the heart. So then it begins to die, right? You have a heart attack. If anything in there becomes necrotic, you can't fix that tissue. You can't fix that.
It does.
It's dead tissue.
I used to work at a podiatrist's office, and this one man used to come in, and his toe, one of his toes was as black as that sign,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm sitting there thinking, I said, Dr. Nippert, I was like, are you going to do surgery and remove that toe? He said, no, he's going to go to bed. And
One
when he
day,
wakes up, the toe is just going to be in the bed.
the toe is gonna be in the sheets.
In the sheets.
It's dead.
It's dead.
And it's just going to fall off.
It's
and
dead.
Eventually, it did fall off, but then the necrosis like started traveling, and so the next time I seen that man, his thing was cut off at the knee.
Mm-hmm. Then if it keep going, they just keep going higher and higher.
Black.
Just keep going higher and higher. That's all. So when I know I was sidebarring, but it's still on health. You know, it's still on health. You know, just pay attention to your your lifestyle. That's it. Pay attention to your lifestyle. Make some healthy life changes, especially for y'all brothers getting up there in your age.
I'm sorry. And for the people watching and in the class, if you're not having regular bowel movements, prune juice. Warm it up in
Telling you, sound crazy.
And put it in.
Drink it, you'll go to the bathroom.
You'll go. Raisin
Trust me.
bran. You have to increase your fiber.
You have to increase that fiber. It's not a joke, you know what I mean? It sounds funny at first. It sounds funny and stuff, but you know, it's really true. So all right, we're gonna keep on moving.
I'm sorry. And the way we go to the bathroom, if you can put if your kids have something that you can put your feet on,
Oh yeah.
you were not designed to go to the bathroom in a sitting position. Your legs are supposed to be up. So,
Thou shalt go to the bathroom in the
with your knees
legs up position.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, what you say? Dr. Fetal, yeah.
Yeah.
I did hear that before.
I did that before, and it's like it's way better.
Hey.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny.
You have to mimic the squatting position.
I get my kids like me Bill and legs. Oh, man.
All right. So for you, all right. So if you could pull out your Bible and get Exodus 23 and 22, we just gonna keep on going, right? Because we was reading about our enemies, right? We was reading about our enemies and the reason why, and we understand that the reason why they're able to overcome us and the reason why they're able to do the things that they do is why? Because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And so if we don't uphold our end of the bargain, if we don't uphold our end of our part of the contract, then the Lord ain't upholding his part of the contract, right? So we said that we would follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and all these great things would happen to us, and the Lord would back us, and he would be an enemy to our enemies and all that kind of stuff. But if we don't, then is he going to be an enemy to our enemies? No, he's gonna turn his back. Like, all right, y'all turn y'all back on me. All right, y'all go ahead and function without me. And so Exodus 23 and 22 is just to get us back into the right mindset, right? We need like a reset. You know what all a reset is just a reality check. Reality check, man. Smack, make nigga come to reality. That's all that is. That's all a reset is. Come to reality. Exodus 23 and 22.
Exodus 23, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Exodus 23, verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary to thine adversary.
Right. That's what we've been. What's the theme of the class? We just created a theme of the class because of your experience at Lucy's, right? But the theme turned into enemies. Right, we read about how we should separate from them, how we should never trust them, and we read who they are. But this goes a step farther. It says, "Look, man," it says, "But if we would obey the voice of the Lord and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy. He'll be an enemy to your enemies, man." But does it look like the Lord is being an enemy to our enemies? It doesn't seem like it. He is, though. He is. We just don't see it.
Like when we become friends with the enemies, we in that trance with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I mean by that is we starting to see a paradigm shift. right? Because more of us are starting to follow the Lord. More of us do know that we Israelites. More of us are starting to pick up the Bible and starting to put down all that other stuff, right? So we are starting to see, like, okay, this is where I tell you where I see the Lord as being an enemy to our enemies, right? And I'm starting to see the paradigm shift. When I was young, right, we used to take these rides. We used to take these rides up to like Philly. We used to take these rides up to Philly, and sometimes we would stop at like White Castle. We would stop at White Castle and eat, and just along the road from here to there, I used to just see bums here, bums up there, homeless people here, homeless people there. Now, the homeless people that I can always remember my whole life seeing was always black. Was always black here and always black there in like Philly, you know, the areas that we would travel. I never really seen too many white homeless people. Of course, in a movie or something like that, but I never really seen too many white homeless people until I started coming into the truth. When I came into the truth, man, I used to see them tag teaming the block. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I've never seen this before. You know, there's 2 on that block, 2 on that one. Man, you're starting to see the paradigm shift. You know what I mean? You're starting to see where Esau was real high. Our oppressor was real high, and now he's starting to be brought down low. He's starting to be brought down low. When I go into my job is damn near predominantly, well, I would say predominantly black with Africans mixed, but it's still when a lot of like black patients that I might have come and say to me, you know, to the side, they be like, man, I like what I'm seeing in here. It's a lot of black people in here. Because then they can remember a time when it wasn't like that, where they would go in there to get some services and you wouldn't see a face that looked like you. You know what I mean? You got to trust that the enemy is going to, you know, help you have your best interests at heart.
Also, at work, I'm starting to notice that the patients, it's a lot of Hamites.
Mm-hmm.
That's nurses and the doctors. Patients be Judites, and like they'll be like, I don't like the way they talk, or they treat me. You know, they treat me crazy. Yeah. And I'm like, because they realize that they're not us.
And they out here smelling crazy too, sis. Just so you know, they out here smelling crazy too. Yeah, damn, those people right there, man. Those people right there, man. We is not the same. It ain't a bone in my body that could make me believe that we the same people, man.
But it's more of us that's not aware that's unaware of the truth, that are noticing that we're not them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's people that's not in the truth that are starting to be aware of that. I do agree. You got it.
That smell is
never. I know.
It's gonna get here till the price.
It can't. It's in there. It's like their pheromones or something. It's in the glands. Yeah, it's a gland. It's in the pituitary. Yeah, it's in the glands. It's in the glands. Hold on 1 second.
A lot of it is the diet. I was with the Burberry.
Oh yeah.
I was with Yashamal and the job I was doing.
Break it down. Now,
They had the fufu mix.
What is that? Is that bread stuff that they be having all the time? You never seen that look like dough? Like they eat like raw. It's like they just take it in and just dump it in some gravy or something and just eat it like, you know, they just eat. It's real weird.
They could make it by scratch, but it comes in a can too. Because
Fufu.
Yeah, I see these Chinese people.
Fugazi.
Where they get the bread like bread, right? And they just kept beating the bread.
Mm-hmm.
It got real foamy, like to the point where it was so rubbery.
Mm-hmm.
You could just take like pinch it.
You could just pinch pieces off. Yeah, that's weird. We're just not used to that. You know, we're not used to that. But it's a lot of people that want to go and eat fufu. Right? They think they want some fufu till they get over there and get the fufu.
Brother in the world that I know, right, is red like African. And their food, they cook everything together. Like them cook fish, chicken, beef in one pot.
Mm-hmm.
They don't cook it separate.
Yeah, beef, chicken, and everything. All the animals in one pot.
Yeah. First they'll start this.
They throw some lamb and some pork in there. Man, look, yeah.
So fish, they put everything you can eat in one pot.
Yeah, the moral of the story is I don't eat like that. Don't throw everything in one pot for me. You know what I mean? You throw one meat in there and throw some vegetables and potatoes and all that kind of stuff in there. But don't be mixing the meats. Man, I know it's a law against that, mixing pork and lamb. That's just like polyester and silk, mixing the two. Mixing the two. But anyway, so the moral, so what we saying is, if we obey the voice of the Most High, right, then the Most High will be an enemy to our enemies. You see what I'm saying? And that's what keeps me going every day, because I see my enemies and and it almost seems like they get everything, right? They prosper. I want them to fall. I want them to be brought down low. And so that's why you change your life.
Right.
That's why you change your life. You know what I mean? You out there, nobody looking, you change your life. You know what I mean? You continue to do what you're doing now. And I see you you changed up that you put like your jacket and stuff on, covered up to kind of show the black a little bit, just the all black. So that's what's up. All right, we're gonna move on. I got a couple more. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. We got a couple more. Isaiah War said, "Oh, okay, they doing breakfast Saturday." Oh, S. Ross said, "Poo poo." That's what it's called. It ain't foo foo. It's poo poo. That's what it looked like too. So Paraboff is gonna have breakfast during the Sabbath service. So, try to get in here during the Sabbath service, man. These brothers, they be in here blowing the trumpets, reading Hebrew, all that. You know what I mean? I'll be in here in a few more weeks, man. I got to finish up school and everything. But, yeah, man, get in here and get down with these brothers, Get down with these sisters. And then they go out to camp. All right. Let me take it to, give me Luke. We'll go to Luke real quick. Do you have any questions on any scriptures, Austin? Matter of fact, you said you were studying. What you been studying?
I've been studying just Psalms, like 23rd Psalm, like when the table before me in the presence of my enemies. That scripture. Daniel, like Nebuchadnezzar, I was just trying to wonder how Daniel could just interpret his dreams like that. I know he fasted, the Daniel fast and stuff like that, but I just wanted to know, how did he know exactly? Because of the Lord. The Lord gave him that gift. All of us have our gifts. Remember, Paul said it. You got your own gifts. I got my own gifts. This brother got his own gifts. You know what I mean? Some of us can speak well, like when we at camp. Right? I remember when I first started off at camp, I was a what they call it, a bumbling fool. Man, I was all over the place at camp, and I had to learn. I had to watch other brothers and perfect my craft. And then I found out that the Lord gave me that gift too. I have that gift too. But then you have brothers that's awesome with remembering the scriptures. Some brothers can go straight to a scripture. Remember this whole book. You know what I mean? I can remember. I'm one of the type of brothers that I can remember maybe like two words out of there. I'd be like, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, am I? You know that one that said, and long as we get like one or two words out of it, we can Google and get the scripture, right? But there's brothers that have a excellent mind for that. There's brothers who have an excellent mind for taking care of like tasks. You know what I mean? Some brothers is good at getting jobs done. You tell this brother, I need this, that, and that done. This brother logistically can get this, that, and that done. You know what I mean? So we all have our own skills. But let me see. Well, first, you still go to the Luke one, I think it's 67. And then you go to Revelations 18 and 4. If I could, Kohal. We're going to read the Revelations 18 and 4 first.
Revelations 18 and 4?
Mm-hmm. All right, we give the brothers some solutions, man. We've been talking about the enemy. We showed them who the enemy was. We've been giving them solutions, so we're just gonna rock out with them. You know what I mean? Keep giving the brothers some solutions, some ammo, some things for you. You can write down you and your personal time. You got it. What'd you say?
We got the mic over here.
Yeah, it's working. You know what I mean? These are some solutions, man. See, these are some things that you can read when you in your personal time. And Revelations 18 and damn, I'm
24.
I'm tripping. 18 and 4.
18.
I'm about to get there with you though, real quick before you start reading, so I can make sure I don't need to go up. Oh wait, okay. All right, so we'll just start with 1.
The book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven.
So y'all know that they're talking about the different angels in the end time that you would see, right? The different, y'all know what I'm talking about. The verse, or the scriptures prior, you'll see like different angels, and the different angels will do different things. Well, this angel, right? This is John the Revelator, not to be mistaken with John the Baptist, right? But this is John the Revelator, and John the Revelator, he sees these visions, right? He has these visions. When you look at, and this is something that I want to make sure I tell your brothers too. When y'all looking at Revelation, you can't read Revelation from, like the beginning of Revelation to the end and think it's going to happen in that sequential order, right? It's a dream. So, this happens, this happens, this happens, this, he's seeing dreams, but it's not all in sequential order. Like it's like you could read it from verse 1 all the way to the end. And that's exactly how the whole thing is going to play out. All right, just, that sidebar. All right, so after these things, I saw an angel come down from heaven, having great power. Read on.
And the earth was lightened with his glory.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils.
Some of y'all might know that song. Y'all might know a part of that song. Babylon is falling. That's what that is. Babylon is falling. But we still got the extra, to rise no more. Babylon is falling. Yeah. Babylon the great is fallen. This is what the angel is saying. Babylon is fallen. Austin, what's Babylon?
Babylon is west of River.
What is Babylon in this context? You're correct. But what's Babylon in this context? USA, right? Babylon the Great is falling. The Bible is telling you that America is going to fall. America is going to fall just like Rome did, just like Greece, just like, where was the dude Artaxerxes and all them from? What was all that stuff? What's all them nations? Artaxerxes and all of those people. Persians, just like the Persians, just like the Medes, just like any other great nation, so-called great nation that was here. And and you hear about them and they flourished. Those nations fell. Babylon the Great is going to fall. It's already been predicted, right? Read on.
And the hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Right. Everybody drunk. Everybody drunk of got drunk off the fornication of America, man. Fornicating with America. What is fornicating? It's having sex. You know what I mean? All these nations. Russia had sex in bed with America at one point in time, like all these different nations, right? Let me not say it that way in Russia because people it wouldn't make sense today. But let's say the Asians drunk off the fornication of America, right? They here, right? And because they drink off because they drink the same doctrine as America, because they're in bed with America, they're allowed to come and open up any store they want to in the black neighborhood because they follow the blueprint. What do you say?
I was just reiterating.
Oh yeah, they able to open up. They are able to open up them nail salons, them hair stores, them Chinese stores. They're able to open up that stuff because they're in bed with America, right? They have drunk off that. They have drunk that wine as well. The Arabs, they've drunk that wine as well. They're able to come here and do all that stuff too. Africans, everybody, they drink off that wine, right? And they drunk off that wine, off that fornication. Read on.
And every Salakia, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Mm-hmm.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Right. All these kings of those places do deals in business with America. Right. They drunk off that fornication, participated in that fornication too. Go ahead.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Right. The abundance of her delicacies, the good things of America. Right. They're all rich off of these things, off the fornication. Right. They waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All the good things of America, all the delicacies. You know, delicacies would be like all the cakes and pastries you see that rich people are able to eat, but you can't eat. That's like delicacies. All them like foods from out the damn ocean that you can't afford, you know, that you shouldn't be eating anyway, but you know, they would consider it a delicacy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's an egg. It's fish eggs. Ain't that fish eggs? I know I ain't tripping. It's been a while since look, Lord have mercy. But I used to eat calamari and stuff. You know, I would eat squid. I would eat clams. So I'm saying, ugh, like, you know, like that was more disgusting than the next one. All of that stuff was disgusting, man. But they waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Read on.
Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Right. Come out of her, my people. Right. That voice from heaven is speaking to who? No, not necessarily Moses. It's talking to who? It says, come out of her, my people. So that voice that John the Revelator hears is speaking to who? I'll give it to you for time's sake because you know what I mean, I'm gonna pull this last scripture and we getting out of here. But he's speaking to the Israelites, like, come out of her, my people. It's telling Israelites to separate your spirit and come out of her. America is going to be destroyed. And if you continue to do the things of America, then you're going to be destroyed with America. All the things that, you know, I always say, to be a good American means you're going to sin against the Lord. Everything that Americans do, for you to be a good old American, you're going to make your Lord unhappy. Right. You're going to make God unhappy. You see what I'm saying? So it's telling you to come out of her, my people. Right? Read on.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Right. What's some of the sins of America, Austin?
Sins of America, homosexuality, envy, jealousy, strife.
All right. So we on the same page. I'm going to make sure you understood what that meant, right? So come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins. Don't do the things that it's okay to do in America. That America says it's okay to do, don't do those things. America says it's okay to do drugs, don't do it. America says it's okay to be a homosexual, don't do it. America says it's okay for two men to get married, don't do it. It says it's okay for X, Y, and Z. Don't do that stuff, right? It's a warning. Read on.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Right. The plagues that's coming to America, you don't want to receive those plagues. It's going to be a lot different than what you've seen before in Egypt. Right? It's going to be a lot different. It's going to have to be a lot different. Because you think the white man you think Pharaoh hardened his heart. You dealing with the white man now. He got a stone cold heart. You know what I'm saying? His heart is stone cold. Hard rock in there, piece of coal. Yeah, you think he already trying to create a force to fight the Lord? Space Force. He already trying to create a force to fight the Lord. Right? Be not partakers of our sins, and so that you don't get none of the plagues that's coming to America. Read on.
For her sins have reached unto heaven.
Right. The sins of America reached up to heaven. That's how bad it then got. Right. Go ahead.
and God hath remembered her iniquities.
And that's what we need. We need God to help us in this situation because we ain't able to do it. We ain't strong enough to do it, right? We need. I hate to say supernatural intervention, but we need an intervention outside of us. You know, outside of what, you know what I mean? Outside of us, like the Lord literally has to help us in this situation. Because we out here doing it, and y'all see how far we getting. I mean, we might get a brother here or there, you know what I mean, that comes in the truth. But for the most part, when you see the majority of black people in America, we so far gone into so many doctrines, it's hard for us to all collectively even figure out, like, what the hell direction we going to go into.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 6,
Mm-hmm.
reward her even as she rewarded you.
Right, the same way America rewarded us with slavery. I don't have a hard time saying that I'm going to be happy to have my slaves. What? I'm going to have a big old, what's the heaviest truck out there? Like a Excursion or something. Well, a Dodge Ram. I'm going to have a Ram, and it ain't going to have no floors in it. It's only going to have a floor where I'm sitting at. And it ain't going to have no floors in it. But however, it will have bars so these Edomites can pick it up and run the hell down the street with that damn thing. Horse, what did he say? Instead of horsepower, it's human power.
I thought you was going to have no floors except for, and they was going to be.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, so they can pick it up and they're going to run down this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's exactly what you got in your brain. No floors, except where I'm sitting at. You know what I mean? So I don't fall out the damn car. But they gonna be running this damn thing down the damn street.
It's like the scripture Isaiah 6:1. It's like that. I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that. I know it's gonna come a time when that prophecy will be fulfilled on earth.
Yeah, of course, all of them. We see it.
All of them.
Yeah, we see prophecies happening.
Yes.
This is the only book where you can look at the prophecies and say, oh Lord, that happened. I can attest to that.
Brush off your story, how you said, like, make them like Flintstones and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's my personal thing though. You can do whatever you want with yours.
It's like, my personal thing is like they gentrify our neighborhoods, push us out and keep pushing us away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gentrify neighborhoods. We get blessed with income and then move back in. They building it up for us to move right back in.
That's good.
Facility, more better.
Build it up.
Yeah,
build it up. You know, they just don't know they build it. They building it up the same way we built up their kingdom. They building up ours.
Yeah, exactly.
They building up ours right now. I'm gonna find the most lavish like mansion I can find, man. That's where I want to live at. That was mine. I don't know how this dude got out here to this damn mountain, but that's where I'm going. So that's mine. Right? And that's literally how it's going to be. And if you able to think if you able to see things like how I see things, I can see it moving in that direction. Now, will all of this happen in my lifetime? I pray it does. You see what I'm saying? Is there a possibility that it could happen not in my lifetime? Yes. That's the reality that you got to understand. And you got to understand that if it doesn't happen in your lifetime, what you going to give up on the Lord? You going to give up on the truth? Or you going to die in the truth, come back in it? Ooh! I'm trying to come back with my Hebrew name. I am not trying to come back and wait 30, however many years it took this time. You see what I'm saying? To come in here like my kids, you know what I mean? They came right out the womb with a Hebrew name. Yeah.
I was going to say, because also you can wake up in the kingdom and you be a kid with a slave.
Mm-hmm.
Being just like, you 5 years old, you got somebody.
Mm-hmm. Running behind you. You know what I mean? You going to go play, they running behind you. You know, they the little, like how they used to do us. Same way they used to do us. Reward them double. Same way they used to have a little black girl running behind them as your little like life-size doll or something. Yeah, okay. Reward them double. That's what's going to happen. So for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. Right? We see the works of America. Right? Horrible works. Go ahead.
In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
How much she hath gloried herself and lived deliciously.
Right. America glorified itself a bit. Don't America glorify itself?
Right.
America says it's the best nation on the earth to live in. How are you the best nation on earth when you got slaves? You the best. You glorifying yourself. Right. And then when it say live deliciously, oh, we all know that. We heard that term before. That we use that in the truth. Like America is living deliciously. America living so deliciously, that's literally how we want to live. White people say, look, I need a house. I need this house. I need this big house. All right. And it's not enough for me to just park the car in front of the house. I need to have a house for the car too. So then you have your car garages. Right. You need a house for the car. Right. And then we look at that, we say, God damn, that's a good idea. Let me get the same it's almost like what we see them, everything that what we consider the American dream that's been sold to us is just their lifestyle. You know, the way they've been able to live off of us. And then we try to aspire to that. And boy, look, we'll claw and scrape and pull each other to the bottom to get to that lifestyle, boy. I mean, whew, it's a dog eat dog. Would they say dog eat dog? Yeah, trying to get that lifestyle, trying to live that lifestyle when we don't have to do that. We can all live that lifestyle. All we have to do is just come together on some shit. You know what I mean? Literally, that's all we have to do. I think there's another, I think I've seen other people trying to start this, but it's crazy that it's not black people. Isn't there another football league out there? The XFL? Do Rock have something to do with it? I thought I heard like the Rock or somebody like that had something to do with the XFL. But I see that there's another. So I see that there's like another, like I said, football thing going on out there. So I mean, it's possible. It's possible for us to break away from the NFL. It's possible for us to break away from basketball and have the Negro Leagues again. I bet you the Negro Leagues was lit. You can't tell me the Negro Leagues wasn't lit, man. Imagine this just like all the you ain't even got to waste your time with like your Steve Nashes or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like just throwing passes and stuff. Everybody, LeBron James out there. Everybody. You know what I mean? Forget your dirt and the whiskeys and all that. No, everybody. Ball. Everybody. It looked like NBA jams. Look like NBA jams out there. That's what we could break off and have, something that's like that instead of suffering through. Give me one of them white players, man. Give me some. I don't even watch basketball, man. But I definitely don't watch no white players.
I hear names, but I don't know what's going on. Like I heard Joe Kick. I've heard that.
Joe Kick. I think I've heard of that, dude. Joe Kick. All right. We ain't even got to suffer watching through Joe Kicks. We could just have a bunch of knocks and, quahals and stuff like that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. I think we didn't beat a dead horse. We didn't help the brother out, man. He know not to go to Lucy's now. Stay the hell out of Lucy's. Right? Because that white lady in there, she got it in for you. She gonna pull out a Lucy, smoke it, and watch you. She gonna pull out a Lucy. She gonna pull out a Lucy while she's stepping on your hamburger. So, no, of course, yeah. Do your thing.
So I know we learned like sex and marriage and stuff.
Yeah.
Reading like Abraham. Why did God allow him to put away Hagar?
Why did the Lord allow him? And then remember that's when that's before all the laws on it. I think isn't that before the laws on that stuff? Go ahead. That was before the laws.
Christ said Moses
Suffered you to
right to fill the divorcement because of our hardened hearts.
Yeah.
But he said, I don't know if he said I pray you or I ask you.
It's something like that. Yeah.
That we don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Christ. So before Moses said that we were so hard-headed that we had to put our woman away.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't fix our problems.
And I'm gonna throw something else in there too. and she had the son of a slave of a bond. She had the son. She was a bondwoman, right? Paul gives that analogy, and I think it's Galatians, the one that's the free and the one that's a slave. Yeah. So the woman that the Lord had him choose was the nation that he chose to have his name through. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm not going to question the Lord on why he did what he did, but I'm just glad he did what he did. Because if he didn't do what he did, guess who'll be the Israelites right now? Guess who had the Lord? Guess who'll be the Arabs? The Arabs will be the Lord's chosen people right now. If the Lord didn't allow, or if he didn't send her away. If he didn't send her away. Right? Oh man, I thought he was looking at his cup, man. All right, with that being said, I'm call up priest and officer Yashamai. You got it.
Isupk security announcements. Roof for new brothers in school.
You got it. What they say in the church? Take your time, brother. Take your time. Look, take your time, brother. Take your time. Nah, I'm messing up with you.
Roof for new brothers and sisters. When they're only to be saluted. They're here to show their world, they sons of the world. They're off limits for 6 months. They're only to be saluted. They're here to show their sons of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will provide it for them, arrange it. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the head, which is the teacher, tithes, which is the commandment.